One plane, 239 lives, and a mysterious broadcast that may never be explained. Here's what happened in the final hours of MH370. It was around 1:20 a.m. on March 8, 2014, and Malaysia Flight 370 was en route from Kuala Lumpur to Beijing. The Boeing 777 was flying at 35,000 feet above where the Gulf of Thailand and the South China Sea meet. Malaysian Air Traffic Control gave the cockpit instructions to switch over to its Vietnamese equivalent. The cockpit responded,
"Good night, Malaysia, 370.
Those were the crew's final recorded words. None of the 239 people on board were ever heard from again. Though scattered debris from the wreckage was later found, the bulk of the plane is unaccounted for, and nobody is sure what might have caused the plane to crash. In the immediate aftermath of the plane's disappearance, authorities released the final transmission from the cockpit of the plane. The unremarkable nature of the MH370 pilot's final known words are as chilling today as they were when they were first released to the public. Other than the message to air traffic control, there has been scant evidence as to what happened before all contact was lost with the aircraft. Radar showed the plane make a sudden and unexpected turn shortly before it disappeared. According to investigators, someone on board the plane may have had an extremist political motivation to hijack and intentionally crash the aircraft in an act of terrorism. The pilot, co-pilot, or someone else could have also downed the plane to die by suicide. Neither of those theories has ever been confirmed, however. In a July 2023 article in Flying magazine, retired airline pilot and aviation analyst Les Albin pointed out the scant plausibility of how these scenarios could have played out. He wrote, "If you want credible answers to this inconceivable 21st century mystery, you'll probably have to wait until the actual wreckage is found." The black box, which records flight data and crew conversations, could be the key to discovering what happened to the plane, but it might take years to find, if it's ever located at all. For now, all we have is guesswork. If someone inside the cockpit of MH370 intended to crash the plane and kill everyone on board, their final transmission gave no indication that anything was amiss. Curiously, the Malaysian authorities initially released a slightly different final broadcast from MH370, claiming the cockpit had messaged, "All right, good night." While this message isn't particularly out of the ordinary either, it is notable for not including the appropriate sign-off, Malaysian 370, and of course it's not clear why the Malaysian authorities would release one version of the final transmission and then claim another. It also remains unclear whether these words came from the captain or his co-pilot, although typically this would be the first officer's job. Either way, the transmission was an ordinary response to Malaysian air traffic control, indicating that the cockpit would be switching its radio frequency to Vietnamese air traffic control. Shortly after the plane's final transmission, MH370 inexplicably turned back toward Malaysia and then changed course again toward the Indian Ocean. No distress calls or reports of bad weather were received. Unfounded conspiracy theories relating to the plane's unexplained disappearance have touched on everything from the realistic to the far-fetched, from an accidental explosion to alien involvement or a CIA cover-up. The Malaysian authorities' unusual handling of the case, including the backtracked final words from the cockpit, left many uncertain about what to believe regardless of the official story. In January 2024, Richard Godfrey, a British aerospace engineer who was investigating the case, told the Sydney Morning Herald, "In my view, the Malaysian government does not want the cause of the crash of MH370 to be known." Godfrey claimed that the government has refused to continue searching for the wreckage, or even pay the freight on a recovered piece of the plane currently located in Madagascar. So far, at least 41 pieces of the plane have been found. In January 2024, a sea captain named Kit Oliver alleged he had recovered the wing of MH370 off the coast of Australia. He was unable to get it onto his trawler and had to cut it loose from his fishing net, meaning it still rests at the bottom of the ocean. All in all, the final hours of the missing Malaysia Airlines flight following its final transmission and the location of the plane itself remain a total mystery.